everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to make this really pretty round placemat, and I've used a springtime theme to the fabric. It also has 1/2 inch wide rickrack along the edge. Now this can be a two-sided placemat, so I have a different color on the back. You can use the same fabric on both the front and back or use a different fabric. Okay, let's get started. The size of this placemat is roughly between 15.5 and 16 inches in diameter going across side to side. So I'm going to show you how to draw your template for that. So take a square that's larger than 16 inches and fold it in half and press it here. Then fold it in half again and press. Then take a ruler and I'm going to place the 8-inch line up here on this corner. 8 inches is half of the diameter across the placemat. So I'm going to place that 8-inch line up here in this corner, and every time I turn it, I'm going to draw a line. So right now I'm going to draw a line here, move it a little bit, make sure the 8-inch line is right there, and I'm going to keep doing that all the way around till I get over here to the other side. Then place some pins to hold your fabric together, and then cut right on your drawn lines. And when you unfold it, you have a circle. Now often what I do, if I'm going to be using this circle a lot, I'll go ahead and transfer the circle to cardstock because I can trace around this a lot easier than I can paper or other fabric. So for each placemat, cut one circle out, and then for whatever is your other side, leave it as a square that's large, a little larger than 16 inches. On your circle piece, you're going to put your interfacing. So you're either going to use medium to heavyweight iron-on fusible interfacing or fusible fleece. If you want to use cotton batting, you can, but just remember that whenever you use cotton batting, you need to do quilting stitches to hold all of your layers together. So for this, I'm keeping it simple. I'm using the interfacing, or you could use the fleece. That's the easiest method. I'm using rickrack that is made by Wrights. It's 1/2 inch wide. For one package, you're going to have enough to get 2 placemats done. You can buy rickrack at fabric stores, Amazon, Etsy.com, and many other sewing supply websites. So when you go to put it on your placemat, you're going to place one edge of your rickrack along the edge of your circle fabric. You'll begin stitching. You're going to go in a 1/2 inch from the end here. You don't want to stitch this end down yet. We'll deal with that later. So go in at least a 1/2 inch or a little more. Stitch down the center of the rickrack all the way around. Now when you're sewing this on, don't pin the rickrack on and then try to sew it on. That's not the best way to do it. Stitch a little bit, place the rickrack along the edge, stitch a little bit more. This way you can turn your fabric slowly and you're not going to have a lot of bumps. Now when you come to where you're almost done and you're bringing this other end towards it, pull this end here out of the way. Then take this one, overlap, and pull it out towards the edge. And then finish stitching it down, right down the center. Now take your square fabric and place the pretty side facing up. That's called right side. And then turn your round fabric facing down, the pretty side facing down against this. Then place pins all around the edges to hold the fabric layers together. Now leave an opening, a space where you're not going to stitch over it, that's about the width of your hand. So here's where I'm going to start stitching. This is one side of the opening, and I'll stitch right on top of my stitch line that has the rickrack holding it on. So as you can see, there's that dark line. I'm going to stitch on that. When I come around to where I have 2 pins, that's the other side of my opening, I'm going to back stitch there. After stitching, then you're going to trim your square fabric down to the same size as your circle fabric. So you would go all the way around. To prevent your edges from curling up, which is a common problem when doing circular projects, you want to go in with a pair of scissors like this, and don't stitch through the, don't cut through your stitch line, that's what I'm trying to say, and do little clips, and you want them fairly close together. So go all the way around the circle, doing little slits. Now reach through your opening and turn this front side out. Once you get it turned front side out, you want to reach inside again and push against your edges and tug on the rickrack to get it to come out. And then press everything flat. Give it a good pressing. Now here's where my opening was. You'll turn those opening edges inside and place pins to hold. Then on this top side here where I have this print, you're going to stitch about 1/8 of an inch away from the fabric edge all the way around. Now I'm going to show you a really quick method for making simple, very basic fabric napkins. Now fabric napkins are about the size of a fat quarter. So if you have a lot of fat quarters around that kind of go with your fabric, you can use those to make some quick napkins. So here is some. This just came from my stash of fabric. I found these that go with it. This came out of a fat quarter. So all of your fabrics are coordinated really well together. So here's how you do it. Press your fat quarters flat. And when you buy a fat quarter, it is roughly 18 inches by 20, maybe 21 inches. They're not going to be cut very straight on the edges, so you'll need to cut your edges straight. I cut mine down to 17 inches wide by 21, maybe 20 inches long. Then at each edge, go to the 2 opposite edges first. You're going to fold it over 1/4 inch and press. Fold it over again and then press. And then along this inside folded edge, stitch real close to the edge all the way across. Then repeat those same steps for your last 2 edges, and that's how you make a napkin. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that I've inspired you to try making these round placemats. If you're interested in other placemat tutorials, or you're even interested in making a basic table runner, I'm going to have those links down below your YouTube screen in the description section. So scroll down till you see the word more, click on that word, and that section will expand open and you will see the links appearing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.